Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. So it's me again, Pauline. Today I'm going to be doing some sort of art and crafty sort of thing. I've been thinking about decorating my son's room. So these are the things I'm going to be using. I've got my scissors, I've got my canvas boards, and then these are like stickers that I bought online on Amazon. Particularly I shopped for a long time looking for the right kind of thing because my son is still a toddler. A toddler, so I wanted things that are kind of educational and I mean, we learn throughout our lives, but very important, visual stuff to be able to see, aside from the other things that we do. So and then I have these other ones here that are just like fun, cars and just things that generally children like, that I'm just going to stick like on other places in his room. So I am not like a super should I say artist, and all that. And the reason why I decided to do this on a canvas instead of sticking it on the wall, I just feel like it looks totally different, and it just looks a lot better. Now the problem I had when I started thinking about this was when I wanted to buy the canvas, I couldn't find the size that I needed. I wanted like just one large one, and then just make it easier for me to use. So by the end of the day, I figured it out, and I was able to get these, and I checked the dimension. I was like, okay, this is gonna work. So here I am just measuring out the boards or the canvases that I have to see how it's going to work. I'm going to be using, because for each size they have two, a pair. So I'm going to be using two large ones, and then I'm just going to kind of mix depending on how the branches of the tree and all this fits. I am going to kind of work with everything. I'm gonna make some adjustments as I go along, but let's see. So first, what I decided to do was to cut the tree. I have had to be quite careful with this because I wasn't sure how it's going to fit on the board, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do in terms of joining them together. So I decided to kind of arrange it in such a way that it would kind of, a little bit of the edge would kind of flip over to the top side of the board. You're going to see how it's going to look. So I'm using my this is sort of like a card really, that I'm using to just push this down. It just makes things a lot easier. I really don't know the name for this, but well, yeah, I'm just going to call it a card. So you can see a little bit at the top just left over, so I'm just going to push this down, so it just makes it look like neater and a lot better. Got some few bubbles there, but well, I am not really an expert with this. I just want something really nice, but I tend to be quite meticulous when I'm doing things, even though it's like my first time of doing it or making it. I like baking and all this decorating and stuff like that, so I pay attention to detail. You won't believe how long it takes me to do certain things. Like, guys, when I say this picture took me like a good part of my day, because I was like, I must get this right, and I was glad it really turned out well. So you can see here I am trying to just reposition like my branches and trying to fit them right, so I don't have a wonky looking tree. Honestly, at some point I started thinking, I think it would have been easier if I fitted this on the wall. But then I was just like, no, let me stick with this. It's going to look so much nicer. It will look quirky but really nice, so I decided to, keep at it. I kept, obviously I have to keep referring to the picture because I just want to make sure that I'm kind of doing it right. It's interesting because when you look at it, you're like, it's a tree, and you're like, okay, there's not much harm I can do. Like, I can't really make it that bad, or it won't look that, worse off, but because of how there are so many different pieces to this, it looks quite complicated. um Honestly, trust me, when you start doing it, you'll be amazed of how frustrating this thing is. Ah. You see how I'm just stressing myself to think about how this is going to look, the dimensions, because I don't have one piece. Amazon got to do something about this. I mean, it's not really Amazon's fault, is it, when you think about it? Somebody hasn't filled that gap quite yet, or maybe I just didn't look hard enough. But trust me, guys, when I say when I'm shopping and shopping for items, I do due diligence. I make sure I comb every nook and corner to get the best quality, the best price for what I want. Trust me. Ah. You see here, I have some kind of leaning out of my canvas, so I was just like, I didn't figure out what I was going to do. So what I decided to do is to kind of get a full picture of what my tree looks like, and then it kind of spurs me on to know that it looks good and it's getting to where it needs to be. So I think later on I figured out what I wanted to do, just kind of flip them to the side, and actually looked good. Those little extra bits, like the branches or little stems that was sticking out. So now I'm going to start with the bottom, because there are other extra pieces like plants and animals and things that are just going to sit at the bottom of this. I mean, I'm just wondering, how did other people decorate like a boys' room? What did you do? And in the sense of it, in sense of trying to make it fun, and then more educational. I know my son is going to get to a point where he wants other, like, cartoon characters and all those kind of things, but now he's going to have to deal with what mommy puts for him. He has no choice. Oh, but he's gonna like this. Gonna like this. I was so worried for these owls. I was like, oh, this is not going to sit well because of the position, but I was glad they fitted on. I was really, guys, like, the weekend I did this, I was so into decorating. I've been into doing a lot of decoration at the moment. Yeah, it's quite like, you get into the zone and figure out everything, plan and plan and plan and figure out everything that you really want. And I just thought I was going to I wanted to film this, and just like, I mean, it's not anything, I don't feel it's anything super duper, like, you know, it's not really like an instruction showing you how to do this, but this is how I did mine. And if anybody wants to do something like this, particularly when you don't have the things that you need, you have to find something that really, you know, works, you know. So guys, I think this is it really. Yes. So you can see from the actual picture, you can see my squirrel is on the tree, not on the bottom. So I mean, because we are just like, you know, work with what I have, figure it out, and just make it look really nice. And see, it's like nicely stacked and looks pretty good. And one thing I'm really happy about is that I can always take this, if we move houses, you can easily carry it around, you don't have to waste it as such. So here I have these strips I'm going to be using to stick the my canvases, my tree canvas, to the wall. So these ones I can cut them and then just put them around, so round the backs of these canvases. So I am, depending on the size of the canvas, I would kind of gauge and see how many I want to fit on them. So I think the larger ones I put about 5 or 6 pieces. So but it really depends, because these strips are pretty strong. They are highly recommended. So here guys, see, I had forgotten, I couldn't find my measuring tape, like, you know, those ones where it kind of stays really stiff. I couldn't find it. So but I was like, okay, this will give me an idea of halfway through this wall, because this wall is quite long. And I was trying to, sorry, I was trying to figure out what to do, and I didn't position my camera I thought I'd positioned it properly so you could see majority of what I was doing. So but all I was doing was peeling off peeling off the back of the strips, like the sticking strips, and just positioning everything and then fitting them on the wall. I was so happy guys at this point that I had accomplished this. I felt so good with myself. I was able to do this because like, for me, I just feel like when you're decorating a place, or when you move into a place and the walls are still kind of bare, there's not much character and life to a place, you know. It just looks plain, and you know, I'm sure everybody understands that. I mean, if you like that, that's your own taste, but I just really wanted something, you know, really nice. So you can see how it's like coming together. It looks, you know, slightly quirky, and I wish I had just one big, you know, but it just, I think it adds to the character of, it's a tree. So now for the big reveal. Look at it. It looks nice. I'm glad it looks the way it does. I think it's pretty, and I can see all the numbers and everything with the birds and monkey and all that, and it just looks fun and interesting. Yeah.
Nine.
Yes, do you like people?
Like it?
Yeah, do you like it? Do you like it?
0, 1, 2, 3, 4,
5. So here I am going onto his bed, the head of his bed. I wanted alphabets here since I already have numbers there. So I just said, okay, let me put them here. And see guys, like, I was, you know, when you just don't want to do things at random, eh? And at this point, I was looking for, I got to letter B and I was like, in your head, you're just like, B is for ball, A is for apple, B is for ball. You know that in primary school or nursery school in Nigeria, that's how we were taught. And I kept looking for the ball. I couldn't find the ball. Then I realized, it's B, like a bee, buzzing bee. Honestly, I felt so like, weird and laughed at myself really because I couldn't figure out what B was. Just showed me how tired I was that day. So I had to measure out, like, well, kind of vaguely space them out. And I was going to put about 6 or 7 on each row because we have 26 letters in the alphabet, and then put the animals just down, just make it look nice really. There's nothing much to it because you want the room to look like some kind of organized beauty. I just don't like things, at random and the whole place is looking funny. Yeah, so but this is pretty easy to do, and then it just brings back, for me, it brings back a lot of memories of being a child really. I didn't have things like this when I was growing up. All the alphabets I learned, in nursery and, well, primary school, nursery school really. Never came back home and had all those like representations as such, except watching like NTA channel, and then they will talk about maybe a couple of things like that. So it's really nice. I think this generation is really blessed, to have things, like that. It really depends on where you come from and your experiences really at the end of the day. But I'm really happy that my son gets to experience something like this. I mean, we had books that said things like that, but in terms of the amount of educational stuff that we have today, and the should I say equipment and all that, there's a lot more compared to back in the 80s and the 90s. So guys, yeah, Z is for zebra. Hey, is it zebra or zebra? So I'm done. I am so glad I've been able to do this. It just looks organized and neat. It's like a play school kind of stuffs. Did I say kind of stuffs? I love you. I'm happy this is done. I'm really glad. X is for X-ray fish and xylophone. Yes. I am done, so I'm happy. I'm going on to the next thing, which is just putting this on his wardrobe. I'm just going to figure out how I want it done and just paste it there. It's very easy, just peel and paste, which is very simple and convenient compared to the tree. But there are reasons behind that. So guys, this is the final result. I hope you liked what I did in this video. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. I hope you really enjoyed this, and it's me again, Pauline. Bye.